A couple of Australian Rotary Health supporters have been planning something big to raise money for Australian Rotary Health next year, coinciding with the Rotary 100. Today I'll be talking to Mel Gray, a 72-year-old Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Blacktown City, who has decided to set a record for riding 24 hours on a static bike. Joining us also is Dick White, who has been involved in organising previous bike rides for Australian Rotary Health, as well as our ARH CEO, Gillett. So Mel, you've participated in plenty of bike rides before to raise money for Australian Rotary Health. Do you want to tell us a bit about your background?
Yes, I decided to take up bike riding late in life, although I rode as a young kid, I suppose. It wasn't until I got into my 50s that I started riding, which was a result of having arthritis and getting over having an operation and feeling that I needed to get some sort of exercise. And I suppose you could call it a bit of an addiction that I got from there on. Plus it got me the chance of getting out and meeting a lot of other Rotarians as a result of it.
Yeah, well, so this sounds like it's going to be so much bigger, 24 hours.
Yep.
Have you ever done something this big before?
No, it's... some people have said they checked my sanity as a result of it, which is understandable. But I looked at when I was decided to come and speak to Joy to start off with about the idea of the ride. We thought that it had to be something that was impressive enough for people, and when I say impressive, I don't mean as the result, but impressive enough for people to want to look at it, to think, oh, we can see about funding something to do with the Lift the Lid program, especially with the idea now of mental awareness coming so much into vogue in all avenues of life.
So I guess what made you decide to do this, take on this challenge?
I had a wonderful email come through to me from a very good friend that said, could this be your next bike ride? And didn't take any more notice of it. I won't say the person concerned. But when I looked at it a bit more, I thought, hey, maybe there's an avenue of doing something like this. And at the time we were looking at whether maybe more than one person could do it. But if more than one person wants to come in and do it, it'd be absolutely marvellous. But if it was to be a tag type of event, it would take the impetus away from it. I still don't know myself whether I'll be surviving the full 24 hours, but I think 99.9% chance that I will.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like a challenge, and I think, for anyone it would be a real challenge. But you're also known as the bionic Rotarian. Can you explain what this means?
Yes, I've had 3 artificial knees put in, and before you query that, anybody, 2 of them are in the one leg. The left leg's been done twice. My right leg has had an artificial knee put in. I've got an artificial left ankle after a fusion in the left ankle went wrong. I've got a fused right ankle and an artificial right wrist. Wow,
so how does that go when you actually get on the bike?
Long as I've got plenty of WD-40 to start off with, I'm all right.
Wow,
no, it takes a bit of warming up each time when I get started, but once I'm riding, I'm no different than anybody else. The parts still work well. I even made sure that I got permission off my surgeon this time to see that it was okay to do it, that I wouldn't be overestimating my abilities.
Oh, excellent. Well, that sounds amazing. And how many kilometres do you think you'll get through?
We've tried to work out what a minimum and what a maximum could be. Maximum is how big is a piece of string. But I'm looking at somewhere between, say, 480 and about 750 kilometres. Because I'll be doing hills as well as flats, that gives a better variety to what it's all about. And as people were able to see on the day, I'll be climbing over some mountains, even though I'm on a static bike. The ability to do it is to be able to do it so that other people are involved as well.
Yeah, oh, that sounds great. So I guess what do you guys think about this, about Mel's challenge?
Well, I agree with Mel that he should have his sanity checked, but he's proved me wrong on a number of times with his rides from Burke to Blacktown and Broken Hill to Blacktown, which were mammoth efforts. So I think Mel has a good chance of doing it. Perhaps they might have brain implants by the time you have your next ride.
And I think Mel's great. It's fabulous to have him back involved with us, and we've had a long history and really looking forward to it. So thank you.
That's wonderful.
So Dick, you've been involved in planning previous bike rides for Australian Rotary Health, such as the Great Australian Bike Ride. I guess what kind of vision do you have for Mel's ride and I guess tying that into the Rotary 100?
Well, I'm hopeful that we can have a similar setup in that others will join in for a period. It'd be wonderful if someone or some people would join in for the whole, but I can envisage people on the static bikes and out on the road riding some kilometres for Lift the Lid and supporting Mel. So that's how I hope it works.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like a great idea, and I'm sure many Rotarians across Australia would love to get involved in this. How can they get involved if they want to?
Well, we've been graced nowadays with modern technology where we can have this, and we've arranged to have this program the whole 24 hours on Zoom so that people can come in from anywhere in Australia and watch what's going on at any particular time through that whole 24 hours. It will show the distance that's been travelled and the hours that's been ridden, even the metres climbed on Zwift. And because it's a program done where I've just mentioned Zwift, it's a program where other people can come in, they can walk, they can run, they can ride, or they can just watch, whatever the case may be. But as Dick said, it'd be wonderful if we had Rotarians from the Northern Territory, Western Australia, Tasmania, even New Zealand, we're filling you fellas over there too, that can come in and get involved for, whether it be 5 minutes, an hour, or even come in at different stages through the day. So there'll be different avenues that they can come along with and different avenues that they can be involved in it at the same time.
Mel, if I might interrupt, I hope it's more than just Rotarians. I hope it's their families, friends and members of the public that be interested in lifting the lid.
Very much so. Well, the reason I said just the Rotarians at the moment is I'm expecting that we're just speaking to Rotarians now, but I'm hoping through their friends and acquaintances and other bits and pieces with the public that they're all going to come in alongside it as well.
Great.
And so if Rotarians do want to learn more information about about what you're doing and how they can get involved, like are you setting up some information meetings?
Yes, the first time that we've got chance for others to find out a bit more about it is the 25th, and this is an advert now, the 25th of November. We're going to have 2 Zoom sessions to come in, one at 9:30 in the morning and one at 7 o'clock at night that the link will come through on. I'll give a little bit more of an update of where we're up to by then, and then people can ask questions and follow on from that. And it was thought that maybe we could do updates of how the training's going between now through until the event itself, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is on the 9th of April 2021, and it will start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I think they'll be carrying me off the bike at 9 o'clock on the 22nd, sorry, on the 10th of April at the same time. So.
Yeah, so there's plenty of time to train and get yourself ready for that.
It's not the 1st of April, isn't it?
So I guess, finally, like, why is this cause so important, raising money for mental health research?
I've been touched myself over the years, and I think if all of us stopped and thought, at some stage or another in our lives, we've either been touched ourselves or know of somebody that has been touched. And it's sometimes the silent problem that people don't understand. Hopefully by this, with lifting the lid and with the awareness that we might be able to get across the country at the time, and because people are actually doing something towards it, maybe, just maybe, it might get one person to turn around and ask a question and say, I need help. Or somebody that can turn around and touch somebody and say that we need help. If we touch one person, the whole thing's worthwhile. But if we raise funds for researchers to be able to look at it and expand the concept of it, more the better.
Yeah, well, definitely. I guess, Joy, you've seen plenty of bike rides over the years as well. Do you have any message of encouragement for Mel on his challenge?
Oh, look, it's just wonderful for me to have both Mel and Dick involved. They've long-term supporters of Australian Rotary Health, not just through bike rides, but through other things. And I think it's great to have you both here and both doing something for our work. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's certainly a great project and yeah, great thing to get involved with, and I think you'll inspire many people. So thanks so much, Mel. And
My pleasure.
I guess, does anyone else have anything else to add before we wrap up today?
I'd just like to say, oh sorry Dick,
No.
I'd just like to say one little thing. Although we're in New South Wales and although we're in Blacktown City where I'm riding from, and I'll be doing it from there, this isn't just Blacktown, it's not New South Wales. This is the whole of Australia and the whole of New Zealand, and we'll even include Tasmania in amongst that as well, where everybody can be involved. And it's the time like when Dick and Joy were organising the safari and the other bike ride, the Great Australian Bike Ride. Everybody in the country can be involved, and as Joy said, not just Rotarians, it can be non-Rotarians as well that will be involved. Sorry Dick.
No, that's fine. Let you have the last word, huh?
I've said the last word, I think.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and yeah, stay tuned for further details. We'll put those links up.